Good afternoon, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Crone Zone Conversations with the Ancients. My name's Priscilla, and I'm here with my feather crones, fellow crones, Heather and Deb H from Purple Elephant. Thank you, Deb, for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, we're excited to have you. We're going to talk about St. Patty's Day today.
And it's also my first day without my collar.
And Heather's first day without her neck collar from surgery. Yay. That's true.
Oh, I didn't even.
Yeah.
I didn't even register.
Didn't register with me either. Congratulations, girlfriend. I'm so happy for you.
Me too.
Do you feel free?
Yes.
Yeah, I bet you
Because
do.
you can't see anything down here because you can't put your head down and
Yeah.
and so it's really hard to work close.
Yes, it is.
Hi,
Very
Sensei Jean. Welcome. Hi, Lisa Niedermeyer, Scorpio Mama Tarot Stash. Welcome.
Yes.
We're excited to have everybody here today.
Exactly.
I wasn't sure if our little shamrock thing would grow with the green screen, so I'm glad it did.
Yeah. I'm glad it did.
We're all celebrating. Hi, Akila.
And so this is St. Patrick's Day, and it's also a couple birthdays. You have one?
I have one. My mom, her birthday was St. Patrick's Day, and she crossed over in 1984. So I've been celebrating her birthday this way with her, with us both, one on each side for many years.
And my granddaughter is officially a teenager today.
Well, I forgot to introduce Monkey. I'm sorry, everybody.
Hello,
this
Monkey.
is Monkey. This is Miss Deb.
And he just looks like he's about to fall asleep anytime.
In Mama's arms.
Yeah.
He really does.
He probably will.
Mine's usually asleep at the door, but she's not back here yet today. I think it's because my granddaughter and her boyfriend are in the other room, so she'd rather hang with them than us.
Yeah. She gets more attention with them.
Yes, she does. Definitely.
Young energy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's a male there. She's in love with males.
Yeah, she likes guys. She really likes guys. Yeah, Monkey love. Isn't he adorable? You can just see him. He's just full of it. So we researched. Yeah, that too, I'm sure. We researched a lot about St. Patrick, didn't we?
Yes, and found a lot of interesting things. A lot of it I already knew, but some of it I didn't.
Yeah. He was actually kidnapped. He was
At age 6, was it?
16, I think. He was kidnapped
At 16.
Out of Wales. His father, I think, was a Calpurnius, was a deacon and a minor local official, and he was carried off into slavery into Ireland, where he became a shepherd. Who knew? The shepherd of sheep and apparently pigs. Was that what it was? Sheep and pigs? I
Sheep
forgot.
and
Something else. But he decided to leave and escaped in a small boat, went back to England, grew up, became even more religious, went to France and studied, and I guess became a priest in France, and then went back to Ireland to convert everybody to Christianity.
Yeah.
Lucky Ireland. Lucky Ireland. And
one thing that he did manage, though, is that there was no violence involved with the conversion. Unlike
that's the only country ever converted without violence. Isn't that bizarre?
Yeah, they said that he took some of the pagan things and mixed it in with the Christian things so that it was more acceptable.
Palatable.
More palatable.
Yeah, yeah. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Amanda. Linda Day Gonzalez. Thank you, guys. Amanda Carroll.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see all of you here on a Friday afternoon. I hope you're all wearing your green and ready to go out and party for St. Patty's Day. And speaking of St. Patty's Day, I saw something yesterday that P-A-T-T-Y, St. Patty's Day.
Right.
But it should be P-A-D-D-Y because the Irish Patrick is actually Podrick, P-H-A-D-R-I-D-H or something like that.
Right.
My trainer, I have a personal trainer that comes 3 times a week, and she's from Ireland. So I told her we were doing St. Patrick's Day, and she was like, "Tell them it's not Patty, it's
It's
PAD.
Patty.
It's
And
Patty.
it's not 4-leaf clovers, it's 3-leaf
Three-leaf
clovers.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yes.
a shamrock is not 4-leaf; it's only 3-leaf.
So, and if you find one with 4 leaves, the reason that it's supposed to be good luck is because they're so rare.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. But we do have a 4-leaf clover in the United States, and that's
We do.
famous shamrock. So that was my friend Paula. She wanted to make sure.
Yes,
said
that
those
we knew.
things.
And also, he was never canonized. He was
I didn't realize
not
that.
a saint, although he's considered a patron saint of Ireland.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Yeah.
And he only is known from 2 short works, The Confesso, a spiritual autobiography, which I think would be kind of interesting to read, and his letter to Coroticus, a denunciation of British mistreatment of the Irish Christians. Which
I'm glad you said that name and not me.
Well, I failed Latin in my 8th grade. Church school.
I did well in
did
Latin, but
I
the only thing I remember from Latin is Villa est Villa Romana. The house is a Roman house. That's that, and we went to see Oedipus Rex in the round, and it was so interesting. So, and I digress.
That's all right. We don't mind a bit. Hi,
We don't
Barrett. Hi, Esther G. Welcome, you guys. So you want to go talk about the legends?
The legends, well, the biggest legend is that he drove the snakes out of Ireland. And there is no evidence that snakes ever inhabited Ireland.
Exactly. They don't have any fossil evidence or anything that there were ever snakes in Ireland. So many people believe, many scholars believe that was a metaphor for the Druids and, and the Celts, that the non-Christians.
For driving everyone that would not convert.
The people that wouldn't convert drove them out of the country.
Yeah.
Which puts a whole new light on things, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. And it puts him in less of a favorable light to me, even if you're not pagan or, claim that umbrella term.
Pagan or druids or pagans.
It's that you would drive people from their homes just because they won't convert to
your opinion.
You're teaching.
Your opinion, because basically it's just an opinion.
Exactly. Exactly. So in modern times now, many of those who consider themselves pagans do not observe the holiday.
I think I quit observing the holiday when I quit drinking, going to bars and stuff like that in my youth, my misspent youth. And green beer is disgusting anyway. So I prefer Guinness to that.
They do say, though, that the river used to be for them to find out who was
polluting the Chicago River. You know how they turn it green every year?
Yes,
but
they
now
do.
It only lasts for maybe 2 or 3 hours instead of a couple days.
So it's not as egregious.
It's cool that they dye a river. I think that's pretty neat, actually.
Yeah, it is.
And the parades.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, the parades are amazing.
Even in
New Chicago and New York.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're huge.
One thing that I learned about him, well, there were a couple of things I didn't know about. Number one, his walking stick. He slammed it into the ground so many times it became a tree.
I didn't know that.
He would talk.
He would talk so long.
He must have a long-winded whatever he did, because to stay in the ground long enough to get roots. I mean, really?
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
Yes.
But what blew me away is that he supposedly raised the dead. 33 men that he rose from the dead, and some of them weren't even just dead. They'd been dead for years.
Yes. And so while I find that a little
disconcerting.
or hard to believe.
I find it very hard to believe.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting concept because much of what, hang on just a second, I'm going to see if that's me. Okay. Now, is there still, okay. Much of, there was an echo.
Oh, sorry.
Much of what he is remembered for, or the legend talks about, is something that we would have attributed to powers we would have attributed to Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, creating food and right.
Then raising people from the dead. And then the shape shifting.
I know, right?
So as I read through a lot of the information, I was thinking what he was trying to dispel from Ireland was a lot of what the legend says that he was capable of doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I found that fascinating, that he was supposedly driving the snakes from Ireland by using the same magical methods.
Right. Same magical methods to create them. Yeah.
Yes. So he was basically just kind of trading one religion or philosophy for another.
That's right. That's exactly right. What was another one? Okay, here's the shape-shifting story. The story is told that the saint used a power called Feth Fiata to transform himself and his companion to wild deer so they could escape the ambush while on their way to preach on the Hill of Tara, an ambush by the Druids. The Druids were not happy about him being there. They didn't like
I
him.
wouldn't have been either. I wouldn't
either.
Not to mention the fact that he wasn't even Irish. So
yeah,
exactly. This foreigner comes in.
What do you call it? Anglo-Roman? He was born in Roman Britain.
So, right.
Yeah.
And then educated in France and
yeah. Then there was another one, the Feast of Fires.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the
oh, I remember that, where he started the fire before they normally would.
You know what? I go ahead and tell about it, because I'm not really that familiar with it.
Well, there was a area where they would start the fires, and everybody would go from that, take some Beltane. Of that fire.
Is that how you say it? Beltane? Beltane? Something like that.
I don't know. Anyway, they would take their fire and go from there. But he started it early, and they couldn't put it out so the king's fire could take over. So everybody got their fire from him instead.
Right.
And he just did the same thing that they were going to do anyway. He just did it first.
Right. I guess that was to prove that his God was more powerful than
the king.
Yeah, the magic fire. And you're right, it was Beltane.
And then another one was the Celtic cross. Supposedly he created the Celtic cross. The story is that he saw the Celts like circular patterns and decided to blend those patterns with the Christian cross. The idea was that the cross of the new faith would be more palatable to the Celts if it incorporated symbols from their own culture.
Exactly.
However, the cross shape was actually already popular with the Celts before St. Patrick, because it was used to symbolize the directions as well as the elements, earth, wind, and fire. So all the information you get on him is, who knows?
Mm-hmm. Well, they're all myths.
And here's another one, the blackbirds. He was, remember, he was, during the 40 days of Lent, he was on a mountain, which is now called Crone. I think it's Crone Patrick. And he was harassed by demons disguised as blackbirds. They just formed such dense cultures, they turned the sky black. But according to this legend, St. Patrick continued to pray and rang his bell as a proclamation of his faith. In answer to his prayers, an angel appeared and told him that all his petitions on behalf of the Irish people would be granted, and they would retain their Christian faith until Judgment Day. Crazy.
It's and then there's a lot of talk about him defeating the ancient Celtic heroes.
Oh yeah, McCool, Finn McCool.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
Hang on, let me find it again.
Page 4. He defeated ancient Celtic heroes.
Yes, and that one was
Oisin.
Mm-hmm. And Fianna.
Mm-hmm.
Oisin was one of the legendary Fianna, the ancient warriors led by Finn McCool. Oisin fell in love with Niamh, a Celtic goddess and one of the queens of Tirnanog, the land of eternal youth. Oisin went to live with her in Tirnanog and stayed there for 300 years, and he never aged and stayed his full strength. But he got homesick and he wanted to go back to Ireland. And but Niamh gave him permission, but told him that he had to stay on his magical horse, and because if his feet touched the ground, he would no longer be able to return to Tirnanog. Well, he actually was trying to help somebody, and he fell off his horse,
Mm-hmm.
and he touched the ground and immediately began to age back to 300 years old, I guess.
Yeah, it wasn't so much fun anyway. All his
But
friends
as
had
he-
died.
Yeah, he said nothing remained the same. He didn't realize he'd been gone 300 years. I think it was only 3 years in fairy time. And as he lay dying, St. Patrick walked by and stopped to talk to him, and they talked about the difference between their religions and what they believed in. And St. Patrick got the better of the debate, and Oisin dies, and St. Patrick lives on, symbolizing the triumph of Christianity once again over the pagan gods of the Celts.
And that was just because he took advantage of an old man and
dying.
lived longer than the old man did. Yeah. So since he lived longer, then of course he was the winner.
Absolutely. And history always belongs to the winners.
Yes.
Right. So did
I
you
wanted to mention too that March 17th is not St. Patrick's birthday. It's the day that he died.
That's right. The day.
So so some do celebrate that aspect, that it's the day that he passed off of this plane.
Has anybody we know ever channeled him? I never thought about channeling St. Patrick.
I don't know of anyone that ever has. I've never.
I don't either. Be interesting to try and channel him.
It would be curious.
I was going to talk that before the show, before show day. Sorry. Real quick question, Cherie. I need your address. Please text me at pwcox@me.com. We have a package that we want to ship you, and we don't have your address. In fact, there's several of you that we don't have addresses for that won our channelversary gifts. So if you're a winner out there on Facebook, please email me your address so I can get you your cards. Anyway, thank you. We've only got a couple out so far.
Amanda, I don't know why he's depicted as a gnome-like fellow. He was a fully grown man, so I don't know.
I didn't.
Why he would be
If you have questions or comments, please put them in caps so my little old lady eyes can see them, please.
And anything you know about him that we haven't mentioned?
Yeah,
We'd love to hear it.
Yeah, we'd love to know any information you might have out there. Hi, Valerie B. Welcome. Glad to see everybody here today. Thanks for joining us. It's a light one. It's a good day.
It's a good day.
It is a good day. So what about traditions? What do you know about traditions?
Well, traditions, there's the wearing of the green. And
which used to actually be blue, right?
Should actually be blue because St. Patrick's color was blue, and the color associated with Ireland at that time was blue.
That's right.
but now green and orange are more associated with
I didn't realize the orange.
I thought
orange.
the orange was the other opposite.
The other,
It is William of Orange.
yes. So, but green, orange, and white are on the national flag of Ireland.
Right.
So,
Makes sense.
And for a little country, it's awful big.
Yes.
Because we've driven from the top to the bottom. It only took a day.
I know.
It only took a day.
Well, and everybody wants to be Irish, don't they? On St. Patrick's Day, everybody wants to be Irish.
That's true.
They claim it.
Yeah. And you know, it was officially recognized as a religious occasion in 1607.
Yes.
It's been around a really, really long time.
A really long time. And that was as a religious feast holiday.
Yeah.
And
when they could have meat, which meant they had, what was it? Cabbage and
it was because
pork.
it was during Lent they could have that meat that one day, because
That
you
one
can't
day.
have meat during Lent.
Exactly. So everybody was really happy to have it. And of course, they never had cattle because you wouldn't dare and kill a cow. That's your milk and your
right. So they would have
everything else.
pork.
So you didn't
They would have pork and cabbage and potatoes instead.
Right.
Yeah, they have a dish that they still eat that I found absolutely disgusting, which was cabbage and mashed potatoes. I can't remember what the name of it is, but I thought it was disgusting. But that's just me.
It was not your cup of tea, huh?
I love it. And another thing that I thought was interesting, they wouldn't drink alcohol for 40 days of Lent, but they might allow themselves a wee tot of potapadrag, which was Patrick's pot. The last such pot was set aside for the custom of drowning the shamrock. So the shamrock has been an issue for a long time with it.
Yes.
Associated with it. The sprigs of the plant would be placed in a glass or pot and enthusiastically toasted. The plant was then removed and thrown over the left shoulder while they swallowed the last dregs of the harsh brew.
Kind of like salt.
Yeah, St. Patrick's Day food was special because meat was allowed, and for the most, this meant pork, cabbage, and potatoes, like you said. But nowadays, it's corned beef and cabbage.
I know that locally here in Texas, and I only know this because I saw it on a news station, that they are allowing meat today.
For Lent?
Because it's Friday. It's Lent and it's Friday, so usually there's no meat.
Yeah.
But they're allowing meat today because of St. Patrick's Day.
Kind of like they did back then.
Catholics, yes. So, and that's locally here. And I suspect that happens around, maybe even around the world, that they officially allow meat today in observance.
Okay, here's my email address. Shuri was asking for it. Rather than saying it, I'll type it down.
And show a picture. You had a picture of St. Patrick.
Oh, this is it's a stained glass window in one of the churches in Ireland. I can't remember. I forgot to put down where it came from.
Now, he still looks fairly young there, but if you consider he was abducted when he was 16, he spent 6 years in Ireland. Mm-hmm. And then went to France for 30 years to be educated and to learn to be a priest before going back to Ireland. He would not have been a young man.
No, he wouldn't have.
So he would have been maybe in his 50s when he returned to Ireland and then spent years converting people.
Well, look, you can see the cross here. This is that looks more like a Celtic cross, doesn't it?
It does.
Interesting.
Yeah, I imagine his age probably worked for him, because if he had been very young, nobody would have listened.
Yes, I would think so.
Nobody listens.
He was a familiar.
The older,
and he would have been familiar with language and customs and those sort of things from his captivity.
Absolutely. And the first parade They show the first parade. I love it. Was in St. Augustine, Florida, by the Spaniards. That was the absolute first one that they can think of, and the first one was in the U.S., not anywhere else.
Yes.
So, and that was in 1601 that the Spanish colony, which is now St. Augustine, had the first St. Patrick's Day parade, and a century later, on March 17th, 1772, was the first one in New York City, and it was homesick Irish soldiers serving in the English military that were in New York City.
I think it's also cool. Now it's police and firemen too.
In 1848, several New York Irish aid societies decided to unite the parades to form one official New York City St. Patrick's Day parade. Today, that parade is the world's oldest civilian parade and the largest in the United States, with over 150,000 participants.
I can believe that.
Wow. And I thought Chicago was big.
Oh, it's
I don't know
crazy.
what the Chicago numbers are.
I grew up near New York, and it's crazy come St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And Boston also has a pretty large
they?
Parade, yes. And I think this year Boston's parade was considered the biggest. So
were any of them filmed this year? I don't know if they show them like they do Macy's parade or not.
We could go on TV and look.
Yeah.
I'll bet they'll show us, at least during the news, they're going to show us a Green
River.
I
love the dancing.
I don't know. Yeah, locally, ours was last weekend. So they did ours early.
Well, when you can get to it, I suppose.
Of course, then that way, of course, it's Texas, so everybody's Irish for St. Patrick's Day, and everybody's Mexican for Cinco de Mayo. So we have one long celebration between St. Patrick's Day and May the 5th.
For 2 months, everybody parties.
Everybody parties.
That's hilarious. Carrots and cabbage. That sounds all right. Mashed potatoes and cabbage mixed together is...
and potatoes, orange, green, and white.
Yeah.
Yes.
That works for me. And apparently, leprechauns, I didn't know that leprechauns were part of St. Patrick's Day. I mean, I knew they were Irish, but I didn't know they were part of St. Patrick's Day. And it says
I'm not even sure how they fit in, because
me neither.
It's sort of like Easter, the holiday of Easter here, where rabbits and eggs equal resurrection.
I never really caught the rabbits and the rabbit and egg thing. It was like, how do rabbits have eggs? I don't get that. They have live babies. They don't have eggs.
And you can get little ducks to give to your kids.
Oh my God, we had those.
Mm-hmm.
But that was for Easter. We had a duck named Aga. We got 2 chicks and a duckling for Easter one year. And we had the duck for years till we released it at the duck pond in Fort Worth. You know the duck pond in Fort Worth? Yeah. Yes. It had our duck named Aga, who thought she was a dog because she was raised around Strudel, our dachshund. And she barked like a dog.
Gerald said it's the Cadbury Bunny's job to bring chocolate eggs.
Gerald, I agree wholeheartedly.
Absolutely.
By the way, that video you and Gerald did the other day was excellent on ethics.
Oh, thank you. I believe we have another one scheduled for April.
Idea. That's idea.
We had so much response and there was so much material, we just couldn't cover everything. So we're going to have another discussion next month.
I think that's a great idea.
Lucky Charms.
Yes.
Magically delicious.
Well, what it said about leprechauns is legends is if you catch one, he has to surrender his pot of gold to you. But be ye forewarned, leprechauns are wickedly clever creatures known to trick their captors out of receiving the gold. How rude.
Well, leprechauns are akin to the Fae, so I would not want to strike a deal with one.
I don't think a human is smart enough to strike a deal with the Fae.
You'll lose every
I
time.
think we would lose every time. So I'll just play
Mhm.
nice.
So, and I think that leprechauns fit in that category. I would,
And they're grumpy Fae. So who wants to mess with a grumpy Fae?
I would keep my mouth shut if I found the gold.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
I love it. And that's really all we oh, here, look. Gerald's show Monday, the 3rd of April.
Yes.
Thank you, Gerald. We appreciate it.
And we have already been having discussions about topics for that. So stay tuned. And if you come by, bring your opinion.
Absolutely. I wish I could catch more things live. It's so much fun to watch them live, and half the time I'm watching reruns.
Yeah.
I understand, and I have to do that quite a bit myself because my schedule doesn't. And you'd think because I'm at home, my schedule would allow for me to watch everyone, but it
I
doesn't.
don't know about you, Deb, but I'm busier now than I ever was when I worked.
I am.
Yeah.
I am too.
Environment is
Yes.
much. Of course, it's all things we want to do as
That's
opposed
true.
to what we had to do, so it makes it a whole lot nicer.
It does.
But we're just as busy.
But we're definitely just as busy,
Yeah.
Yes.
especially if you're doing 4 shows a week. And I hope you guys don't mind those our regulars. We haven't done any of our Tuesday and Saturday shows for a couple of weeks, and I'm going to take another week off too because it's really working to help her get better and me as well.
And you have to take care of yourself first
You do.
Yeah.
before you have something to give back. So
That's exactly right. Oh, right. That's a great idea. Isn't he on later with Jean today? Mark Spirit was right.
is he Jean? Well, she's driving though, so but I really enjoy hearing him talk about Pan, and that Pan says that he is the same horned god energy throughout. That he's known by many names.
Mm-hmm. Neat. Okay. Oh, Saturday at 12:30, she says.
Okay.
Brilliant. I knew they were coming on pretty quick. I just wasn't sure what time. So that's really all I have on him. Does anybody else, other than the technical stuff on Chicago? It started in 1962 when city pollution control workers used dyes to trace illegal sewage discharges and realized that the green dye might provide a unique way to celebrate the holiday. That year, they released 100 pounds of green vegetable dye into the river, enough to keep it green for a week. Today, in order to minimize environmental damage, only 40 pounds of dye are used, and the river turns green for only several hours. I wonder what kind of environmental damage a food dye could do.
I don't know.
I always thought
maybe it dyes the things that live in the water green, which you might not want, but
probably not. Yeah, you probably wouldn't. Okay, so
but it's cool that they do it.
So that's my all my knowledge about St. Patrick's Day.
That's what I found coincided with what you found, and you found even more than I saw when I was looking. So
yeah,
there's just he was far enough back historically that there's just not a whole lot.
5th century.
Mm-hmm.
The 5th century. Yeah.
Most of it is legend.
Mm-hmm.
And I imagine it would have to be really that far back.
Yeah, for sure. One of the interesting things that was, though, in the monasteries that he created in Ireland, they actually kept the books, kept manuscripts and stuff like that, and then they ended up sending them to Europe because Europe was still in the Dark Ages, and I guess Ireland they were a little bit further advanced, and all that information eventually went to Europe, but they saved all kinds of documents for posterity, I suppose. I thought that was rather interesting.
It is interesting.
How about throwing some cards today, ladies? Anybody
Wonderful.
interested?
Sure. Let me wake up my little monkey and move
I
him.
knew he'd go to sleep, the little love. Okay, folks, if you want cards, I guess I'll put this first.
Yeah, strictly for
But if you want a card, please put in all caps and emojis so it'll catch my attention so I can star your name.
And today I'm using the Fairy Oracle cards.
Of course you are.
Of course I am. It's the only time.
It's perfect for fairies.
Yeah.
We need fairy oracles.
Today I have the Robin Wood Tarot because
Robin Wood.
of,
Look at the Celtic cross on that.
That's
Oh, that's
cute.
beautiful.
yes.
Celtic
So I
knot.
thought that it would be appropriate.
I think that's appropriate.
And just in case I needed them, I brought along my Angels and Ancestors
I
card.
love Angels and Ancestors. I have that deck too.
And these were put out by Karen Kay. So
Wonderful.
Oracle of the Fairies.
Okay, Cherie says a card, please. We can start with Cherie.
Cherie.
Mix them up. These are fairly unused, and so it takes a little bit more to mix them. Okay, for Sherry.
Okay. You want to do 1 or 3 card readings? 1 card readings?
I was just doing one. Okay, and this one is called Solitude, and it has to do with being by yourself as being all together, but by being by yourself and being able to think quietly, your answers are really coming to you rather than being distracted by everything around. And those are the greatest treasures come to you when you're in your quiet times, is what it's saying. And it's really funny because she's in the green, but it really shows maybe that's better. Can't hardly tell. What'd you come up with?
I got the 3 of Pentacles, which is the master craftsman. But it's also, in this deck, it's the solitary figure.
Mm-hmm.
In a lot of decks, it's making plans with others. But with this one, I see you making plans and making whatever it is you're good at, being a master craftsman at that. And the setting here, it looks like this figure is crafting onto a wing.
Yes.
Yes,
It
it
really
does.
does look like a
A
wing.
giant wing.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And so that says to me divine guidance, that whatever it is that you're good at and you're thinking about doing, that you have absolute divine guidance in doing that. So don't be afraid to create.
Right.
Okay.
Great. And they both actually do talk about solitude as being where you get your greatest
Yes, absolutely.
information.
Okay. Joan B says, I could use a reading. I have some changes in my life this week. General for my next 2 months, more or less. Okay.
Well, General, we'll get your card and see what it says for
See
it.
what happens. And G. Covington, of course, we have time. We've got 20 minutes to read cards, so awesome. Get your names in. We've got lots of time to read cards.
Okay, this one says shine from within. So all those changes in your life, that's okay because it's you inside that matters. Those are exterior changes, or they may be you're getting your insides more the way that you want them to be. But remember that self-acceptance is part of that inward shine. So with all those changes, remember that you are the one that's saying what it needs to be. Self-acceptance for what you've decided to do is part of it. Okay?
So, Joan, what I got, I had 2 cards came out, so I'm just going to show you both of them. The first one is the Trader, and the Trader is exchange energy to create abundance. So that was the first card, to trade energy. But the second card was the Fire Guardian, to ignite your passions. So take that exchange of energy and use it to ignite your passions. All of these changes you're going through will lead you to what you truly desire.
It's lovely.
Very good.
There's a puppy. Oh, Amanda says leprechauns, tricksters. Absolutely, they are.
Absolutely. They'll trick you out of what you think you earned.
Mm-hmm. And Cherie says, thank you, ladies. Sounds right. And Joan B says, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us read for you.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Thank you for all you guys for being here today and letting us read and talk nonsense and whatever else we happen to do today.
Sometimes not nonsense, but nonsense.
But it's all good. I've only got 2 more people that want cards. I know there's more out there that want cards read. We've got plenty of time, so let us know.
This says magical blessings. I'll sit against my shirt. No, it doesn't help because there's so much green in it. Anyway, whatever you're going through, you're being assisted by magical fairy magic. So don't feel really bad. The fairies are there to bless you too. So whatever is going on, they're there to help you too. Okay.
And Pierrette, remember to enjoy yourself. Mm-hmm. 3 of Cups. Remember that you have a community that cares for you, and that whatever is going on, there is time to rejoice. There's time to be happy and to...
We have to take the time to be happy.
Yes, take time to be happy and to remember what you have. Be joyful for what you have.
I'm sorry, but I have to put this one up because this is so sweet. Thank you, Teresa.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We hope you'll join us more often.
These ladies have wonderful, in-depth conversations. So it's... If you're ever curious about something, chances are they have discussed it.
Yes, chances are.
Just look and you'll find something.
We're actually pretty new. We just celebrated our 1st year anniversary, and we have 138 videos.
That is
that doesn't count. That doesn't
amazing.
Count.
That's just what stuff that we've found information on.
Our guides asked us to start this channel, and we did. And it's been a blast. We have met so many beautiful people. We enjoy this community of love and light. I can't thank you all enough for being here.
Yes, it's been wonderful.
And enriching our lives.
You certainly have done that. Okay, G. Covington. The card that I drew is motivation. And think about that as we're coming into spring. I mean, it seems like it's still winter, and it is in many places. But remember, as we come into spring, our creative ideas are beginning to gel, and even the fairies are helping us and get busy and do what you've been thinking about during the winter. Get in there during the spring and really get it done. Okay?
It's hard to think of winter when you live in Key West.
I know.
It's like every day's spring or summer, and it's like, you mean it's still winter places?
I know it is in places, but remember that you've been doing a lot of thinking during that winter and planning on what you want to do. It's getting close to the time to start doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So, G. Covington, I got the Five of Cups, which very often talks about despair, but there's still 2 cups standing. Mm-hmm. Turn around and look at what you still have. And remember that you can take that and make it grow. Whatever has spilled, let it go.
Let it go. It's done and dusted.
You didn't need it anyway. Take what you have and make it grow. And there's no need to despair.
That's right. Sometimes we're so busy worrying about what we've lost, we've forgotten what we have.
Okay, Linda.
Linda.
You're right, Cherie. We do love our tribe here.
We definitely do.
Yes, you ladies are correct. That's from I think it's Genevieve, isn't it? G. Covington, I think it's Genevieve. Yeah. But Genevieve, she said you're right on.
Genevieve is a lovely name.
Beautiful name. I agree.
Linda, and you do this very well. You do work as a group. This is a come together. And when you do come together, you find that the work that you've got to do is so much lighter because there are so many hands helping at the same job. So it makes it so much easier to get that job done. And I do know that you work with a lot of different people, so that's a good thing.
Linda, I got the Earth Guardian for you.
Beautiful.
All those
Look at him in his green.
Yeah.
So it's a reminder to stay grounded, keep your feet firmly planted on the ground. And when you do that, then that gives you a direct connection to Mother Earth. And you are able to exchange energy with her so that whatever is not useful to you, you can give to her and she will transmute it and give it back to you as something that is easier for you to use and to spread and then exchange energy with someone else. So don't forget to stay rooted and grounded. And I really beautiful. Love the greens in this.
So many different greens. He's gorgeous.
Yes. Yes.
Mother Earth loves our negative energy.
Yes.
Just throw it down. She'll take care of it and transmute it into love.
Yes.
And send it right back at you.
And I know that when you work with groups, sometimes there is some negative energy. So everybody just get rid of it. And then you can get your things done very easily.
Yes. And don't worry about giving it to Mother Earth. She can use it and she will take it and change it. So, okay, Deb.
And she says, wow, those are so on point and so lovely. Great. We love it when it resonates. And we love it when you let us know it resonates.
And we really like it when we're in sync with each other.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I picked up the card for hope. And even if you can't see it, there's always hope there. And optimistic expectations are always very beneficial for you. So keep that optimism going. Even if the weather is making you feel depressed, remember that it will end eventually. So you really want to go ahead and keep that optimistic outlook going. Keep your hopes going. Okay.
So, and the card that I got was the shapeshifter, to transform
Mm-hmm.
and unveil your gifts. So while you're keeping your hopes up, remember that whatever is happening right now, you can take that and use it to your advantage. So transform whatever's happening right now. Be the shapeshifter, take it and use it for something positive.
Beautiful.
Good. Keep your hopes up.
Oh, here we go with Amanda.
Amanda.
We didn't know either.
We didn't know either. We're
We're just doing
doing
playing it by
whatever
ear.
works, whatever comes in. This is actually the last one I get.
Okay.
If you want a card read, get your name in quick, because this is the last one as far as what I have listed. So if I missed you, please.
This is the magical gateway. You can almost see that she's ready to go through the gateway. And it takes courage and trust to go into things that you don't know anything about, or you think you don't know anything about. You probably know more than you think. Anyway, remember that the greatest rewards come from going into something you're not sure about, because then you give it all the right thinking that needs to be done for it. Don't be afraid to go forward. Okay?
Lovely.
Amanda, when you step through that doorway, you will be victorious.
Yes.
One.
Triumph. I love
Yes.
it.
Don't worry about it being something unknown. Just step through the doorway, because victory, triumph awaits you.
Exactly.
Beautiful. That is
Exactly.
absolutely perfect. I don't know what you're up to, Amanda, but you're winning. That's pretty neat. You got it, girl.
Okay.
Leona.
And Leona, Billy, Joe Greedy. Yes.
Oh, this is a Facebook one. I love it. Thank you for all you Facebook people. We love having Facebook as well as YouTubers. This is great. We
Yes.
hardly ever get questions from Facebook, so I'm thrilled. Thank you. That's such a pretty deck.
It is. I really like this deck.
Go ahead and start, Deb.
Yeah, go
Okay.
ahead.
You ready?
You're ready. I'm not
I'm-
ready yet.
I'm sometimes I get something right away. I got the Shaolin Master, graceful in movement and action. So I would say to you, take all of that knowledge that you have, all of those things that you know to be, and use them as you walk through your days. Let them guide you, and know that you are walking with grace.
Don't tell me he's holding a grasshopper.
It's a praying mantis.
Okay. And yet
You know why I said that, right?
I do.
it's hard to see it, but it's called New Beginnings. This fairy godmother right here is taking care of the new beginnings as if it's a baby. So when you're working on your new things, like what she was talking about, you treat everything as if it's
Tenderness.
precious
With tenderness. Yeah.
and precious. And you will find that they will mature and the ideas will blossom for you.
Lovely.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice cards, ladies. Is that everybody? That's all I've got. I guess we
That's
can
all.
pull one for the, how about one for the collective?
One
Oh,
for
that's
the
good. Let's do that.
You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. We're not doing a show on Saturday, but Sunday we have Junosphere is going to be here on Sunday, and we're going to be mainly doing readings, I believe.
Yeah, she said she'd like to do readings and cards.
So that's Sunday. And then Monday we have Valerie B. She's going to be here, and we're going to talk about the spring equinox. So that should be an exciting show.
Valerie's very knowledgeable about
And that's
it.
early Monday, that because we have class at 4. We're doing it at 2:00 instead. So 2 p.m. Eastern, we'll talk about that with Valerie.
And for the collective, the card that I got was healing.
Oh.
All of us have the ability to heal, not just ourselves as well as others. So keep that in mind, that through all of this that we're going through, it's time to give and receive healing.
And that
Because
goes
as
along.
we receive the healing, as we heal others.
True.
Absolutely. And that goes along with what I got. I got the Empress.
There you go.
Great.
Fertility, safety, security, everything on earth that's good is represented in this card.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So embrace what's going on around us. The equinox is coming up. We are heading into spring. Remember that as time passes, everything that comes to us comes from Mother Earth, and that we are in a safe, secure place where we are.
And remember, all of us are healers, which
Yeah.
is one reason we all need to send as much love out as we can possibly do.
That's
Yeah.
right. Especially to those that we don't want to send it to.
Exactly.
I'm
They
all
need it
about
more than
sending it to
anybody.
your enemies or perceived enemies, because
They need it more than we do. They need it more than we do.
absolutely, because we're full of love and we're surrounded by love, and miserable people aren't.
And they need to be.
And
so
they can use it.
It reminds me of, there's a scene near the end of the movie Hook about Peter Pan and Captain Hook, where the little girl says that Captain Hook, all he needs is a hug because he didn't have a mommy. So
I do agree with her.
sometimes the villain needs the biggest hug.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
We believe that wholeheartedly.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. From the bottom of our hearts, we believe that.
And remember to give that love and send that love to yourself as well.
Yeah.
You need to take care of you.
We're really good at sending it to other people, but you have to remember to send it to ourselves, because
Absolutely.
Yes.
we need to stay loved and grounded. So thank you guys for being here today. We so much appreciate it. Deb, thank you for joining us. I just love having you, and I hope you'll come back soon.
It's been great fun.
Oh, I'd love to.
Good. And until we see you all again, have a wonderful day. Go out and shine your light. Let your freak flag fly, and speak your truth. Be who you are.
Yes.
Exactly.
From your heart center. We love you, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.